Homies, thank you all so much for coming in. I have the absolute honor of having Prodigy come into the Treehouse for the number 9 TreeCast. So this is the first ever live stream TreeCast that I've done on Twitch. So I'm super excited to talk about Sora in Smash and exactly his meta. Who's gonna call him broken? Because I know some of y'all are gonna do that. So Prodigy, thank you so much for coming in. Why don't you just tell the chat and the stream a little bit about yourself?
Oh, hi guys. I'm Prodigy. I am a Kingdom Hearts content creator. So if you've been in the Kingdom Hearts space, maybe you've seen a video or two from me, whether it's a news video. I upload a lot, or I used to at least. But I mostly do YouTube. I'm not super used to Twitch or live streaming. But Treehouse invited me here on this podcast. We want to talk about some Sora and Smash, which I have not done enough of, honestly. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, guys, please, you have to follow Prodigy on YouTube and on a social media. If you guys do not, I cannot do business with you, and I kind of don't want to talk to you. So, but yeah, I'm really excited because I didn't realize it. I was talking to you earlier about this, but it's actually been exactly 5 months since Sora was revealed in Smash. And like, first of all, what did you kind of think about him like getting announced? And did you think he was gonna be like, what did you think his play style was gonna be?
I had no idea. Well, I fantasized a lot of what his playstyle was going to be, but I knew. Well, there was a couple moves I knew were going to be in. I knew he'd have his magic, some form of magic, and I
Mm-hmm.
knew he would have like his Sonic Blade and stuff because that's
Right.
like just an iconic move. I
Yeah.
am a little surprised at some moves not being in, like some of his other limits, like Ars Arcanum or Strike Raid. I thought Strike Raid was like a given move for Sora and Smash,
Right.
but. I'll say he has both surprised me in both good and bad ways as a character.
Yeah.
He's my favorite character in Smash
Yeah.
easily. Definitely my main.
Right.
But I did not expect him to be one of the slower characters in the game.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
one thing I'll say.
Isn't that, yeah, that's something okay, yeah, we got to talk about that. Yeah, I had like faith he was going to be in Smash cuz if you look at Nintendo's history, there's actually like they have a Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck Game and Watch that they did
Been
like
wrong.
decades ago. You know, they've had the 3DS
Yeah.
special Dream Drop Distance console. They had, Chain of Memories on the Game Boy Advance. So like I knew there was a good chance, but I was also kind of wondering like was it going to be like Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora or Kingdom Hearts 1? So like I'm pretty happy they did like Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora and then the Dream Drop Distance voice, and then it kind of fits really well with the costumes and the skins. And I kind of didn't even expect we'd get actual skins. I thought we'd get like maybe alternate colors. But I realized right away when I saw his gameplay, I was like, okay, he's a little slow. Did you think he was like, cause I thought, Sora's naturally like a really pretty fast character, like in the series. So
Typically, I would say, yeah, like especially when he's like fighting. Specifically, when he's fighting,
right.
he's like super fast. In the end game, he's super fast. They did the right thing by making him like have one of the best versus in the game because he is a
Yeah.
character. He is a character that can stay in the air for a pretty long time. Um, I was surprised we got like because when I think of Sora, when I'm playing as Sora in Kingdom Hearts, like some moves that you're often doing to engage into any sort of fight are
Mhm.
things like flash step, things like sliding dash, things that close the distance on the enemy in like an instant air, things like air step and cave
Yeah.
three. I didn't think they were gonna add that, but that
Right.
Sora has all these moves that close so much space in like a snap,
Mhm.
and
True.
not there's you don't really have moves like that in Smash. Like the closest thing he has like that in Smash is the Sonic Blade. And the
Yeah.
Sonic Blade even within itself is very easy to get hit during the Sonic Blade.
Right.
Uh so it's just surprising he doesn't have anything like flash step or anything like sliding dash to close the
Exactly.
distance.
Right.
But
Exactly.
he's still super fun. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
love the character.
Mhm.
I'm so glad he's like a combo based character for the most part.
Yes.
that was like my dream for Sora. All the characters I typically play in fighting games or Smash. My previous main was Peach. They are very combo reliant, combo focused. Rely
Right.
on those strings that they get going. And Sora is definitely that to a T. And he
Yeah.
has some of the most fun combos in the game. I know the Smash
Mm-hmm.
community doesn't think so. They don't like getting hit by the Nair loops, but I'll never get tired of the Nair loops.
Dude,
So.
yeah, same here. And like when I don't know if you felt this too when you first picked him up, but like as soon as like he was downloaded, I went in training mode with him. I was like, he's clean. Like he just feels
Yeah.
buttery smooth. And I feel like I don't really get that with like a lot of other characters in Smash, but it's like he's not the fastest, obviously, but some of his moves, like his Nair, is fast and it's really good. And the fact that it hits from the back, like you were saying earlier, like his Sonic Blade, it's, you know, he can move pretty fast. But he's mainly slow, but a lot of his moves come out pretty quick too.
Yeah, a decent bit of them. He has like this rhythmic like feeling to him whenever you're like hitting stuff with him. And
Yeah.
that's partially just due to the Keyblade and the Kingdom. That's the Kingdom Hearts aspect they add into Smash very beautifully.
Right.
Never hitting them Nair loops, never hitting them forward air chains or getting that aerial
Yeah.
swoop going. It's very nice. It's a very nice feeling. They
Right.
did very good with the sound design of him in Smash, so it just makes the character that
Yeah.
much more fun.
It's really, I think with his moves coming out pretty quick and just him in general, like I think he's actually a like maybe the most balanced DLC character too. Like I feel like he's pretty even.
I'm gonna have to think about that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to think about that a little bit.
It's weird to me because
Definitely got some jank.
yeah, he's definitely got some jank, 100%. But when I fight characters like Samus, I feel like it's such a bad matchup. But then when I have something like Sonic Blade, just like really hit them pretty fast, I'm like, okay, without this move, like I would be completely screwed. But I feel like he doesn't have too many bad matchups, really. I've been hearing like different things, but
Yeah, I think everyone's mixed on the matchups, and I think it's
I think so
because
too.
Sora, like a lot of people just play Sora a little differently. I think it's starting to come into. I think we're starting to slowly get into a little bit of a meta for him, and
Right.
I think it's leaning a little bit towards Sora being. He's a character that wants to like keep a lead a lot more, and
Right.
when he gets in on you, he wants to be aggressive.
Mhm.
But when he has that lead, he definitely wants to like keep it. So Sora
Exactly.
he can be a little bit of a camper, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
But it depends on the matchup. I feel like
Yeah,
it.
well, when you're talking about like camping, it's I don't know if you've noticed this, but especially like the past 2 year, the whole meta of Smash has just turned into a big waiting game, and I think that really
It's coming to timing it out,
it's
and I think
yeah,
that's why competitive in Smash has been jarring for a lot of people recently. I think
yeah,
it's because online people are realizing during like all the COVID stuff, we realized that like some of these characters are insanely OP online because you can't react to certain things.
right.
Characters like Sonic, characters like Samus, like even
Mhm.
Zelda, were like winning some Wi-Fi attorneys, doing well in some of these Wi-Fi attorneys. Some of these mid tiers became top tiers in the online meta because they
Yeah.
were really powerful at zoning. They didn't require super crazy execution,
Mhm.
but uh, what kind of started happening was people realized it was kind of just coping. People were just coping with the online aspect. Some of these
Yeah.
players online were actually insanely good. So
Right.
when we got back to the offline scene got heavily affected by the online scene. And
Right.
now you're seeing Sonic was always good, but you're seeing even more Sonics. You're seeing even more characters who came out during the online stuff. Characters like Steve and stuff people thought were just online characters.
Yep.
No, these are actual good characters. And wait, some of these online strategies still actually work. Like this
Yeah.
camping, this actually works offline pretty well. Maybe even better if
Right.
I optimize it. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah,
Kind of
no,
funny.
that's a great point. I saw this must have been this was some big major tournament that VG Boot Camp was streaming and Sonics was playing and I forget the other person's name, but it was a Samus. And like the Sonic was just going to the corner and timing him out because they could just dodge as many projectiles as they could and people were in the chat were like, "Oh, it's lame, it's lame." But dude, that's the game, man. Like you got to learn to deal with that type of thing. And if you do have to time stuff out, then go for it. The one thing I have been noticing with Sora is like, moving across the stage, he's pretty slow. But if you get hit like by a Fire Aga, like the hit stun is just so good. Like he just has a lot of good setups, and I think the potential for him is really good. I think it's just going to take a lot of time for him to fully go out there, and people are going to be like, "Oh my gosh, he's like maybe top 10 or something." But I don't think he's specifically top tier, but I would say he's a pretty good high tier,
I would say so too. I think he's just a character. I think
Mhm.
Sora's just a character you're gonna have to be like really good with, and if you're gonna play him at like a high level, I think you can't like make too many mistakes with Sora, and that's on top of the
Right.
fact that he is on the lighter side, which he's
Mhm.
not that light, but he's light
Yeah.
enough to where it makes a little bit of a difference if you're fighting like a heavy like a Bowser or something. Sora's gonna die a tad like 10-20% earlier to a Bowser compared to other characters. So
Right.
that's something you do have to like think about
Mhm.
as him and Sora. I don't know. There's some other things, but I think he fights the top tiers pretty well for the most
Mhm.
part.
Right.
I just think he's just going to be hard to play. Like he he has a very odd matchup spread because I
Mhm.
I do think he wins most of his matchups, but I
Mhm.
think he has enough losing ones that gatekeep him from the top tier. Things
Right.
I personally think things like Samus are losing. I
Right.
definitely think Zero Suit Samus is a losing matchup. I think that matchup's so
Mm.
hard. Uh,
Yeah.
but like characters like that, I think are gonna gate that you're gonna see a decent bit of in bracket. Or they're gonna gatekeep them in brackets because you're gonna have to fight a lot of the zoners. Because a lot of the people in pools or who are at that mid level trying to get into that top
Right.
20, top 8. They're fighting. They're trying to win. So they're
Yeah.
gonna cancel. They're gonna zone you out. So and that's something Sora doesn't deal with super well. Speedy
Mhm.
zoners.
Yes.
So he's gonna have to deal with that. You're just gonna have to work really hard in bracket with him. And I think that's
Yeah.
just the thing. Maybe you experienced some of that while you were fighting in the coin box a
Oh my gosh, do I
little bit
breathe? Yeah,
ago.
it's so it was so tricky cuz it even got to the point where I noticed like it was just even if a character just had one kind of projectile, like I remember I was facing Cloud and personally, like it's just me, I still got to learn matchups, but I rather fight Cloud than Sephiroth in my opinion. And even
Yeah.
with his just neutral B, like if he hit me once the stun's pretty good, but it was something about it's really hard to get in on Cloud, and I've noticed like if someone can really outspace Sora, like they're gonna be pretty good, especially if they have projectiles. But yeah, Samus
Yeah.
is a really tough matchup. I think Zero Suit, I totally agree with you too, because Zero Suit's moves just come out incredibly fast.
Zero Suit might be like top 5 worst matchups for him. I'm starting to like think. Like I
Right.
used to think Sora might be able to deal with Zero Suit's down B, but
Hmm.
not. I think he's too slow. I think he's too
Yeah.
slow to deal with her down B.
Yeah.
I think
Exactly.
she moves. She has everything
Hmm.
that Sora struggles against. Like
Hmm.
Zero Suit is also super versatile herself. She can camp if she wants, but she can also be just as like aggressive and like just apply that pressure.
Hmm.
Sora does not. Sora isn't. He has tools to deal with pressure, but I wouldn't say he's like crazy well at dealing with pressure. He definitely
Right.
has to like he has to hope you get hit by his nair like during
Yeah.
pressure. So it depends on what type of pressure it is. But I
Right.
wouldn't say he's the best at dealing with that off rip.
Hmm.
He's not the greatest at dealing with zoners, and he's not the greatest at dealing with being like spaced out. And Zero Suit has everything to do all of those things. Like
Yeah.
she can space you out with Zaire or side B or with the neutral B. She can zone you out. She can zone you out with the neutral B. She could just
Right.
run away from you like one of the fastest initial dashes and movement in the
Hmm.
game. So
Right.
Sora's not catching her.
Yeah.
Like it, you just gotta hope. I feel like in that matchup, you just gotta hope you get her off stage and get like a nice read.
Yeah, it's pretty funny because like just like with the whole Sora bad matchup thing, I feel like okay, this is my crazy, please judge me as much as you want. This is my crazy conspiracy I have. I think Game and Watch is top 5 in the game. I think Mr. Game and Watch is like secretly a god, and I just don't think Sora does really well against him either because he can get juggled pretty hard since he's light. But I also noticed Game and Watch is tricky. Maybe it's a me thing, but also one of my friends, he's like, I think he's the best. He's like ranked top. I think it's like top 200 in Italy, and his Robin is incredibly good. And he's like, oh yeah, it's a bad matchup for Sora. And I didn't really notice that well, but Robin really has so many different types of projectiles just with that neutral B. So I've been he's been helping me out, but I was like, oh my gosh, he's kind of right. And I don't know. I haven't heard too many pros talk about Sora's bad matchup. I went into Sen's stream. I don't know if you know who he is, but he used to be called Best Ness, and he is one of the best Nesses like in the world. And I went in there and I was like, yo, Sen, what do you think about the Ness and Sora matchup? And he was like, oh, Treehouse, that's a great question. And he was like, that's just a wonderful question. And I was like, oh God, he's being sassy. I was like, oh man. But he said that. I just think it's really fascinating that pros have so many different opinions of characters, because he said Ness destroys Sora, but I kind of think it's even or something like that. And I didn't think that until I actually started playing Sora is the thing too.
I think Ness and Sora. I'm I think I would say it's even myself, but I do see the argument for Ness winning because
Mm,
I think that I definitely don't think Ness destroys. I think it will be like a -1 matchup if anything,
mm,
for Sora, and that's because I feel like a lot of Ness's aerials beat Sora. Sora can't really contest with a lot of Ness's aerials like that, and Ness
yeah.
benefits even more than Sora does from just throwing out aerials in neutral, I feel like.
Mm,
Um, so Sora in that matchup against Ness, I feel like kind of just has to catch Ness off guard with
yeah.
magic, bait out, down B, things like that,
Mm,
to really trickle away at Ness's damage.
yeah.
But Ness off stage against Sora is bad. Like
Yeah.
Ness off stage against Sora is very bad. Like, and as soon as I see a Ness up being I'm like, oh, okay, counter.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
weird because it's such a telegraphed like up B.
Right.
So he
Exactly.
is not really like I think Ness struggles off stage, but it's not
Mm,
on stage. I think Ness might win a bit on stage, just a
right.
little bit.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Sora that I wanted to kind of bring up too, is that I mean, you can just do almost as much as you want off stage. Like he's a very in the air game character.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the time, especially when I get back up on ledge, instead of getting up, I'll do like Thundaga, and it kind of lifts you up a tiny bit so you don't have to get up, and it's really safe because it covers so much. But I mean, if you can edge guard really well off stage, I mean, you're gonna be pretty good. Because if you look at even Ness, even Luke, well, Lucas has the tether, but with the um, like with Terry and Ryu and Kazuya, like if you can get their recoveries, even Ridley, Bowser, like anyone off stage, like you're pretty good to go. It's just kind of a risk at the same time, which is obvious, but I mean, I've been trying to do just counter on the ledge with Marth and with Terry, and I used to never be able to beat him, and now I can do it like consistently, which is kind of crazy. But it's like his counter, do you think it's the best counter in the game, or where would you kind of
No.
put that? No.
I think Joker's the best counter in the game. I think Joker's is
You think
Arsene
Joker is? Yeah.
Arsene is
Same.
too good.
Same.
I think Sora could have a counter even with Arsene. Like I wouldn't say
Mm,
better, but well maybe. I think he could have one better or like slightly better or close to even with Arsene
mm,
if it was like more consistent with the direction.
mm.
Because the Ultimate has some like wonky stuff when it comes to like hitboxes. You
Right.
don't
Oh
really have to think
yeah.
about whether a hitbox is hitting you like from behind first or if it's
Mm,
hitting you from the front first. But with
right.
Sora, you do got to think about that a little bit
Exactly.
because like I'm sure you've been in many situations where you're in front of them, they throw an attack in front of you, but the attack's hitbox hits behind them, just
Exactly.
hits behind you first.
Right.
Little instances like that, little inconsistencies like that, where he can be kind of clipped on his counter, makes it, and he can be reverse it, makes it a little more limited or linear to kind of like use compared to our send counter,
Yeah.
where as soon as you press down B, as soon as like
Mm-hmm.
it comes out within those 5 frames, which is faster than Sora's also. Sora's counter is a little slower.
Yeah.
Uh, as soon as our send counter come out, that you good. You don't gotta worry about nothing. You hit. They hit you. They hit you. They don't.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll be a hit, but our send counter is too good.
Have
So
you
I'll give Sora second or third. I'll
second
give
or
second or
third?
third.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, I totally agree. Because Joker's hitbox is or Joker's counter is literally all around, and with Sora, you do take a risk. I just remember during the presents they were like, and if it hits from the back, then you're out of luck. But I've had chances where I'm at a very high percent. I'm at the last stock. They're gonna hit me from behind, and I counter because I know I'm gonna die soon anyway. And sometimes the counter will just turn around and work. So it's definitely
It's a janky counter
it's a
for
real
sure.
it's probably I don't want to say it's the most janky thing in the game, but I can't think of anything else that has such a high risk and such a good reward as well. I don't think there's any other janky move that does that. I think Sora's counter is the
It
jankiest thing.
like I feel like with our send counter, you don't have to like contemplate whether it's like gonna
Right.
hit when they're up being. Like
Mhm.
if I see the cloud, if I see well, this won't happen often with cloud, but like if I
Mhm.
see some like a I don't know, well I'll just use clouds as an example. If I see like a cloud or a Mithra up being,
Mhm.
and sometimes they'll clip me like behind off of their up B
Yeah.
or off of their off of whatever while
Mhm.
they're like hitting me during my when I'm countering in front of them in front of the move. Like
Yeah.
the fact that I have to think about those interactions, I think just makes the counter like worse, just slightly worse. But I
Yeah.
still think it's very good. Like when it hits, it might be like the best in the game when it hits.
Right, exactly. Like if you can get it twice, if they're at low percent, then you're pretty good too. But it is, yeah, I would say it's definitely second. I do like how this one is different from every other one in the game. For one, it's the
Yeah.
only one that counters Banjo's Wonder Wing, which is kind of crazy. I was actually playing one of my friends seriously, and I countered him on the Wonder Wing, and he was like, "What the fuck? Like, I didn't know that. Like, how? Why does that hit? Why does that work?" And it's like, bro, no one knows. And I really like the idea that it pushes you and then it knocks you back. But I still think Joker's is kind of the best. But for his recovery, right, it's obviously amazing, but I don't think it's as amazing as people think. If you like, it's obviously very good, but I feel like it's really predictable. Like if you can, like, you got to go left or right for the start. So I don't know. I've actually been edge guarded a good bit with Sora, which is crazy. Like people just got, I don't know if they got reads on me or if they just like have gotten used to like Sora's recovery because it is kind of slow. But what do you think about that?
Uh, I I think his recovery is good, but I think his recovery is really good. But I do think it's exploitable. Like
Yes.
I at first I was like, okay, this might easily be best recovery in the game, and it
Mm-hmm.
might be in terms of distance, like
Yes.
how like options, but I think that if you're in a situation where you have to up B and then Sonic Blade, you're a
Yeah.
lot more vulnerable compared to like if you're just regular up B or just regular Sonic Blade. So I
Exactly.
think it's up to the Sora. I think it's up to the Sora player a lot to mix up their recovery. But
Mm-hmm.
I would still say it's one of the best in the game. It is slow though. It is
Yeah.
slow, and I think the speed of it does make like a decent difference because when it comes to like a teleport up, be like a Palu's, or when it comes to like well Pikachu's as well,
Mm-hmm.
there's those recoveries go large distances and they're so fast that
Right.
like you gotta react like quick. With Sora, you can time. I've seen so many people like time their spikes on me because I'm Sonic blading to recover, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like bruh.
Yeah,
The
it's
fact they can
pretty
do that.
cursed. Yeah, I mean, in distance, you're 100% right. It's totally best. But I've had like Sephiroth's because his counter is like, the length of it is so good that even from like the very bottom of the ledge when I'm trying to get up, because that Sonic Blade can kind of like go from the bottom up on the ledge, which means like I can get countered by it too. So it's good, but I feel like people just see him go under the stage and around, and they're like, "Oh, it's the best in the game. It's so broken. It's so broken." He's not. He's not broken. if anything, I kind of think he's, and I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Even when they were developing him, I know Sakurai and the development team were talking about they wanted to make him like a pretty simple character, and it makes sense because he was the most requested character ever. But I think if you're a beginner in Smash and you pick up Sora, like it's not going to be like he's not a very complicated character, I think.
Yeah, I think Sora. I don't think Sora's super complicated to pick up. I
Mm-hmm.
do think he's very hard to master though. Like when you start
Yes,
getting into the IDJ stuff,
and the
where you
Nair
start
loops
getting
and
into like
stuff.
optimizing or even movement, because I think his movement is a decent detriment to him. So I
Mm-hmm.
think you do want to learn how to move with the character optimally, like learn some of the tech, like learn how to do like the wavelands on platforms. So it's pretty beneficial for him because he has a pretty long waveland, maybe one of the
Yeah,
longest in the game.
exactly.
Um, or you're going to want to learn how to be reverse. You're going to want to learn some of that tech. But
Mm-hmm.
I think you could pick him up and just play him. Though I know it
Yes.
turns a lot of people off because of his floatiness. A lot of people don't like that. That's
Mm,
why a lot of people like dropped him after like
exactly.
first week.
Yeah.
When Sora first came out, I looked at everyone's like reactions and
Yep.
stuff, and everyone, the first thing, even I says, the first thing everyone said was like, "Man, he is floaty. Oh my god!" And they jumped over like, "What the heck?"
Yeah, do you remember people's jaws dropping? Like I remember I think Esam, I saw his reaction and like Sakurai was like, he's floaty due to his characteristics. And you know, of course Sora goes like all the way on the fucking top of the map and Esam's like, oh my gosh. And like everyone was just so shook. But I mean,
Yeah.
I love floaty characters, so it worked out perfectly for me. But yeah, he might be the best floaty in the game for sure. Like the floatiest and the best, I think. But I don't know. He's very hard to master. Because I've been seeing some of these like nair loops to fast fall fairs to down tilts, like literally going on battlefield platforms to platforms. Like it's
Yeah.
really insane.
Yeah, his optimization is going to be like the thing that's going to make that thing is going to decide where he fully is on the tier list at the end of the day.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff though, like the combos and
Hmm.
whatnot,
Hmm.
that like they're sick. I want to see like how consistent we can get those like in a match.
Yes.
Because a lot of the time in Smash, there's a lot of characters who have these like crazy kill stuffs and
Hmm.
combos that you've probably never even heard of that
Yeah.
you won't see because they're just so hard to get in a match. Like, okay, has to be done at this percentage on this stage.
Right.
When the sun's hitting the ledge at this length, like it's just
Yeah, definitely. It is pretty interesting because I love seeing top players play as Sora too. Like I remember the first two
yeah.
weeks when he came out, Zachary, like one of the best players in Japan, if not the best, picked up Sora. Like I think it was a couple like a week or a couple days after he got released, and he won like a major with him, and it was purely due to fundamentals and timing. And I think Sora is a character like if you have really good fundamentals, like you'll do pretty well with him too.
Yeah, he's a very good fundamentals character, I think.
Yeah, he's like, what is it? Someone asked me, they're like, oh, like like people say Mario's a really great character for fundamentals, which you know, I could definitely agree. For me, I've been playing a lot of DK, and that's been helping my fundamentals too because he's a very like, you have to time everything very well. You can get punished very easily or very hard if you mess up. So I've kind of been practicing that and then applying it to Sora, and you don't really like you can defeat someone really good without doing all these crazy confirmed combos and stuff too. Like if you do them, that's
Yeah.
great. But if you look at Jake, who's a Steve, he was the one who won Coinbox. He's sponsored by Apple, not obviously the technology company, but like the esports team. He won Coinbox without doing any kind of crazy combos or doing any kind of like wild shenanigans. Like if you can do that with Steve or some other characters, like that's kind of the beauty of Smash. You don't have to go super try hard 24/7. You can do it based on fundamentals, and that's what Zachary did.
Yeah, fundamentals will get you far, not just in Smash, but just any fighting game, really.
Right, exactly. Like Zachary's been a great example. The only person, because I've actually thought about doing some Metafy lessons with Sora, and I don't know if you're familiar with Nakat, but I mean, he's been around forever. Like, I think really since Brawl. He has an amazing Pichu. He plays, I believe he plays Joker too, but his Sora is schnasty. Like, it's really good. So if you ever go into his streams, he'll talk about Sora a little bit here and there, but the way he just like moves around and like punishes just on fundamentals like amazes me every time. Like I'm just like, please, I want to be that. And I think having good fundamentals and good reactions are two of the hardest things to kind of teach someone in Smash too. I feel like that and adaptation is something you just have to get with experience, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of aspects to Smash that makes certain things harder compared to like other fighting games. Smash
Mm-hmm.
Smash does not, well, it does, it does if you have the mod, which I'm thinking about modding my Switch for it,
Oh my
but
gosh. Yeah, I was
Smash
gonna bring that up too.
Smash does not have the greatest training mode. So a lot of the time, if you want to
Mm-hmm.
learn something in Smash,
Right.
aside from like you can lab a combo or two in training mode, but like
Right.
it is not the same as labbing like situations. If you want to lob
Right.
situations, you just gotta go at it in Elite Smash or
Exactly.
whatever.
Right.
And this game has so many characters, so
Right.
many characters. So
Mm.
I feel like a big part of Ultimate is just knowing matchups, learning matchups.
Yeah.
Like you see pro players like even they get cooked, like they get upset because sometimes they just don't know the matchup. They're not comfy with the matchup, and
Exactly.
and they've been playing Smash for decades.
Yeah.
So like
Right.
imagine playing a game for decades and still not knowing the matchup. It's like insane
No,
how many
yeah.
characters Smash has and
Mm.
how different like the pools are for characters and how many different ways you can play characters. And not only does Smash have a lot of characters, but you
Mm.
can also play every character in like such a different way. Like
Right.
this game is so versatile. It's one of the reasons like every Smash game or almost every Smash game is just timeless, like really just timeless.
Exactly. It's definitely the most balanced Smash game of all time, I would say too.
It,
Like,
it is funny. I do think this is the most balanced Smash game too.
mhm. It's weird because I believe in kind of believe in tier lists, but I believe more in like matchups and just like personal experience, like versus this character's like the best in the game, you know.
I like the idea of tier lists. I like the idea
Hmm.
that tier lists bring a discussion
Right.
and give you something to think about. I almost never take tier lists like for confirmation.
Same.
Um, but I love looking at them because I just like hearing people's reasonings for why X character is top tier, why X character is
Yeah.
lower, higher, mid tier, etc.
Hmm.
I just love the discussion with all of that when it comes to fighting games. Not even just fighting games, really just anything. Like the whole tier list thing that was blowing up like 3 years ago, like that when everyone was doing tier lists on every single game or movie or anything imaginable. It's just fun seeing like the discussion from
Right.
people.
Yeah, exactly. Like I did kind of I remember Pichu used to be like tiered as the best character in the game. And I remember like there were aspects of Pichu that were like really busted. So I think I thought we were gonna get like a really big nerf patch at the very last update, but we really didn't get that many at all, and they didn't touch Sora. I think they knew exactly what they were doing. I think he's definitely good as he is. If they did something with that counter, that might be cool with me too. Um, but yeah, the beauty of Smash is that you can play any character any way you want, and it works, and you can win. Like if you want to go in the corner and spam and like be patient, you can do that and win. Or if you want to be super aggressive and you know what you're doing, you can win. And you're right, it is very timeless. But I love how people are always going to discover something different in Smash Bros. Like recently, a lot of people have been playing the Mii's, and like they got some really good buffs the last couple patches. So I don't know. I've run into a good couple Mii's, and I'm like, I'm scared. I don't know what to do. But if you consider like all the sorties and stuff like that, I don't know. I think Sora doesn't really have too many bad matchups, but I think the potential for him could be almost greater than like any character because like yeah, we were saying he's easy to pick up, but like some of these combo videos I've been seeing of people do with Sora, like if you know how your opponent's DIing and you get some of these nair loops, like his up air is by far my favorite move because it just goes through anything. Like it's so
His up air
safe.
is so good,
Oh my
and it does
gosh.
so much shield damage. They don't want to sit there and hold shield either during it. It is so
Right.
good.
It's
I,
just
I, I feel like
crazy.
his kit really just. I feel like he's one of those characters where his whole kit was just kept in mind when they
Right.
made him. Like everything in his kit just synergizes with one another. Like
Hmm.
I like it.
Right. And like as a very big Kingdom Hearts fan, how did you feel seeing like all the details from the games implemented into Smash? Like is this
I
the Sora
cried.
like you pictured when you were
I,
imagining
I
it?
I cry. I mean, this is Sora. Like Sora's.
Right.
I don't know if you know. Sora's like legit my favorite character
Hmm.
in existence in
Yeah.
media. Every movie,
Hmm.
every TV show, cartoon, book, manga, whatever.
Right.
Sora's my favorite character. Period. And it's
Yeah.
been that way for like over a decade. And he's he's done a lot for me. So just seeing him in Smash was just in
Hmm.
general was just amazing. Like
Yeah.
I was happy to see KH1 Sora. I was so happy to see KH1 Sora. I
Hmm.
If I put Sora in Smash, I probably would have picked like KH3 Sora for like
Hmm.
certain abilities and whatnot. But we kind of got a mix of everything. We got a little bit of a
Yeah.
mix of everything.
Right.
It's still mostly KH1, but we got a mix of everything. We got every Kingdom Hearts like represented
Hmm.
with Sora and Smash.
Exactly.
The Sonic Blade that's in Smash is the Sonic Blade from Kingdom Hearts 3.
Right.
Um like Sora, KH1 Sora isn't KH1 Sora definitely is not floaty. So that floatiness ain't that ain't a KH1 Sora thing. I mean, unless it's from like Neverland or something, but that
Right.
ain't Sora KH1 hecka grounded. But
Yeah.
they took a lot of moves from like different games, and
Hmm.
it was just nice.
Like
It was
his
just nice to
finishing
see
leap
it.
just looks so good too. Like I don't know if you've been seeing videos of that like one iframe that it has. If you do like a forward smash and you do a down smash and it misses,
Yeah, I've
I
seen.
I actually hit that the other day and I was like, "Oh
That's
my gosh, I
crazy.
did it." And I like stopped the match and I was freaking out. But yeah, I think the way like cuz even with the KH2 outfit, like it's to me it still kind of looks like KH2 Sora. Like they just did everything so well and if you look at characters in Smash, like Sakurai definitely goes with the original. For Dragon Quest when they had all the heroes, yeah, they had. I think it was from the most recent Dragon Quest. I think it was Dragon
Dragon
Quest
Quest
11.
11, the
Yeah,
Luminary. Yeah.
right. If they had the Luminary as like the main, like as the first option when you select him, but if you go back to the Sephiroth trailer and the Sora trailer, you can like there's Erdrick from the very first Dragon Quest. So I think Sakurai has this thing where he's very focused on the very start and
Yeah.
beginning of the franchise.
Because
And
that's it's to represent the legacy. So I get that. Like
exactly.
I had a feeling like if he wasn't going to do KH3 Sora, I knew he would have done KH1, and I kind of
Yeah.
expected KH1.
Hmm.
Um, but I was just happy to see him in the game at the end of the day.
Same. Yeah, because I've been
Like the fact we're even having this discussion is
is
crazy.
insane.
Like
Yeah.
like
it
that's wild.
it still blows my like sometimes when I have a bad day, I'll just be like Swords and Smash and I actually like feel a bit better. Like that day, that reveal was definitely one of the best days of my life
I
because
was in like a mega honeymoon phase for like I might still be in the
yeah.
honeymoon phase, but like I was just like smiling every morning for like a month, like when
Yeah.
I turned on my Switch.
Hmm. Dude, yeah, it was just such a good feeling because I kind of have in Smash, like I kind of had a character crisis the past couple years because I mained Ness in Smash 4 only because I was just good with him. I never played Earthbound. I wasn't raised with the Mother series, and I love Pokemon, but I just don't see like Pikachu or Pokemon Trainer really that much as like a fighting game character. And I grew up with Kingdom Hearts like since 5th grade, and I always pictured Sora being in this game perfectly, and it just fits. Like I have so much motivation with him that I didn't have with Ness because like I want to be like a really good Sora. Like I'm down to watch videos and to study and to try these combos, but it's really interesting if you look back at the last Wii U presentation. They had Bayonetta for the last character, and they had in the very bottom they said Bayonetta was the most popular character, or was the number one choice. And if you look very closely, there's a little print that says of most realistic characters. And I was like, oh my gosh, why is no one talking about this like years later? Like, it was all the way back then. And I think they made the right call to not reveal that list. Like, I voted in that Smash Wii U ballot for Sora like 7 years ago, which is just so crazy. So I think when you really have a passion for a character and you click with them from their past games into Smash, then nothing can stop you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think J Ray in the chat, like, he bought a Switch just because like Sora got in Smash, and like I would do the same thing, except, you know, I'm already super into the series. But yeah, I think Sora's a really good character you can kind of pick up, and he's not too complicated. But I do think in the future he could be a real threat. I think if someone really knows what they're doing at every second with every frame, like, he's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, that's a big thing with a lot of characters. Like that's a major factor. That I'm seeing getting talked about a little bit more, but wasn't as broad, but isn't always brought up when the discussion of tier lists and stuff is going on. There's a lot of characters in Ultimate that are honestly probably low tier, just because they don't have a large player base.
Exactly.
Like, player base matters a lot when it comes to these characters. Player base and results in combination. Because sometimes there's some characters that are literally only played by like 2 people, but those 2 people are getting results, so they're high tier, top tier, you know?
Right.
But there's some characters who have a super large player base, and all of them are doing mediocre. And that's when you call a character, okay, this character might not be that great. Character like Steve, for example, probably everyone hates Steve. Everyone talks about how much they hate Steve, but honestly, Steve probably has one of the biggest player bases in Smash. Because that is Minecraft. I mean,
yeah, it's Minecraft.
So many people are playing the Minecraft character.
Yeah.
That character has such a dedicated community, and that character will probably only go up on the tier list because I guarantee you, there's going to be like a new Steve player every couple of months. Because Steve, during the online scene when like Steve had come out, like in late 2020, 2021, I woke up like every couple of weeks to like seeing some crazy Steve tech or combo video. That character feels infinite.
Right, exactly. Infinite. I agree, because we're even seeing, I think it was just 2 months ago, there was a region that actually banned Steve. And I was like, I think it happened when some player versed Tweak and they beat him with Steve, and everyone was like, Steve is broken, and I was like, I don't want to get into that. Like, when you start banning characters, that really scares me. Like, but yeah, I think Steve is only going to go up. I think there are a select, like you were saying, there isn't that big of a player base. Like Kirby Kid, who plays K. Rool, makes K. Rool look like an S tier. Like, the way he uses his super armor, the way he uses his projectiles and his counter makes him look like he's unstoppable. And he always gets like top 20 in Hungry Box's online tournaments. So yeah, I think you're totally right. So I mean, that can, you know, it's nuts.
I think Sora has a big player base too, but I don't think he has a big competitive player base, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like, a lot of people who play Sora, they were waiting for Sora to put in Smash to play the game.
Right.
Sora has a big player base of like, I feel like casual players or people who mostly like just play KH, or like they don't really play fighting games that much.
Right.
But I think out of the people who play like a lot of Smash, like the Smash players, people committing to that, I don't think there's that many people.
Yeah.
But I think there's a little more. I think there's a decent amount, but I don't think there's as like many as you would like probably think in the competitive scene for it.
That's true, because I know Aaron, the Diddy Kong main, like the best Diddy Kong ever, he was super excited to get Sora in Smash, and he tried him out for like you said at the very beginning of the podcast, like a couple weeks, and then he like went back to Diddy Kong. But Nakat's like really trying to like kind of pick up Sora too. But I don't see. You're right. I don't see a lot of people just solely maining Sora and going through with it, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what I'm trying to do.
I,
Like,
I I understand that though, because like
mhm,
I even am thinking about holding like a secondary, because I
right,
there I personally like I think Sora does have some rough matches. I think he wins most of them, but I do think
hmm,
he has some ones that are like that feel almost impossible. I'm gonna tough my
yeah,
way through them though. I'm gonna have to practice and live
yeah,
it out, but. In the meantime,
right,
I might just have to pull out the other character.
dude.
Like if I
Honestly,
see a Samus, if I see I don't know a Zero, I might have to pull out the Peach. I might have to pull out someone else.
yeah, dude. Samus is such a bitch to fight. Like Samus and Dark Samus. I think Bayonetta is really tricky. I think that's just a me
Yeah.
problem though. Like, because once I get scooped up by that side special, I just can't get out, and I'm just like, I'm dead. Which I'm really happy. I was really scared Sora was going to be like super light. I think everyone respectively kind of freaked out because they were like, "Oh, he's very light." And when you saw his recovery, you're like, "Oh, that's why he's going to die early." But man, with good
Yeah.
DI, like I found myself really living for a long time with Sora.
Yeah. How light is Ness in comparison?
Ness is definitely heavier.
Okay,
I
he's
don't know his
heavier.
exact weight, but I know he's a good amount heavier than Sora for sure.
He's Sora's definitely the lightest character I've played. So that's probably why it
Hmm.
feels a little more like it's not like he's not the well. I played Isabelle, so
Hmm.
but I didn't commit to her. He's the lightest character I've committed to, I'll say.
Yes,
But
yeah, because I know
I
he's the
think
same weight as Zelda. I'm pretty positive.
yeah, but he's light enough to take notice. I would
Right.
say, but he's not like impossible. Like don't ever get hit light. Just be
Yeah.
a little. He's light enough to be cautious.
Yeah, he can take a hit, which is good. I was kind of afraid it was going to be something like Pichu. Um, but the thing about Sora that's really nice is like, dude, he hits hard. Like his
Oh
hits
yeah,
are really powerful. Like
his
his
forward
up
smash
yeah,
kills.
it's it's like I know his up smash like the more centered it's hit, like if the person's more centered in the up smash, it does more damage. But dude, it's like some of these times that I've killed with like a counter or an up air or even like his forward smash lasts pretty long too. So I don't know if you found your instances where I was like, "Damn, that really killed him." So yeah, I'm kind of discovering like new tech with him kind of like on the daily. Like I think if you want to be really good at Smash, I think it's just as important to watch as much as you play, because that way you can kind
Yeah,
of get different things. And I've been doing like this Nair fast fall Nair up smash like on the daily. And I used to just do like a fast fall fair forward smash, but I think this Nair up smash is a bit more consistent. And I've been seeing a lot of people
it's
do
also easier to get because you're just hitting.
yes.
Sora's like most of Sora's hits during a match are going to be Nair or that fire rocket or the magic.
Yeah. Exactly. His magic, dude, like that's the other thing about Sora is like his magic is great, but I don't think he's I don't think his moves are consistent enough to be a top tier character either, right? Like if you look at his Thundaga, it's really good, but it's very inconsistent. If you hit
If he
someone with the
could
first one
take
and they're at
it,
high percent, like they may not die from it.
if he could pick his magic like command menu style, that would be beautiful. I'm a
Right.
little surprised they went to Smash Flash, right? Like they literally took that.
Mhm.
I don't know if you played Smash Flash. They basically took his neutral beam from Smash Flash.
Did they
The
really? Was
fan.
it could you select it in that or was it just like
No, no, it cycled through from Firaga, Thunder, Blizzard. Like that's how it was.
really?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
crazy. Like it's crazy how
I
like
I never played Smash
similar
Flash,
that
but I've
is.
been seeing a lot of people say they took a lot. Do you remember what exactly they took from it?
What from that?
Yeah, from
That
Smash Flash. I heard like they took the down smash from that and the
um,
up smash. I can't exactly remember.
I honestly don't remember everything,
Hmm.
but the neutral B is the one that stood out to me the most. I know a
Really?
decent bit of his moves were different. Like in Smash Flash, instead of having like a up B like aerial sweep,
Right.
he just aerial recovered and like did a move. I think his side B was like flow motion or some glide thing or
Yeah.
something. but a lot of his attacks. I mean, a lot of his attacks are similar to Smash Flash. They're just Keyblade swings, similar to
Hmm.
what we have like now.
Right.
Um, that neutral was the one that really stood out to me. Like, wait, I specifically remember the news in Smash. I liked it in Smash Flash, but
Yeah.
I do think it would be better if he could like command menu it, but that might be
Right.
broken. I feel like they did that on purpose.
Hmm. Yeah, because I prefer the just like going through the regular magic because like if you look at hero you actually have MP and I rather just kind of like I hate to say it I rather just spam through my moves my neutral B than have like some magic and then select like one that's definitely more busted. Like I think they're all equally pretty good at different times. Like I think
Hmm.
Fire Aga is great when it comes to hit stun. Like you can do like Fire Aga and then dash attack, or like Fire Aga and grab them. That'll lead into something else. Blizzaga is great on ledge, or if someone's trying to get back and recover. I think Thundaga is also really good if you're trying to approach, and if they're like really far from the stage, I just kind of go off and do that, and they can easily get stuck. But I wanted to ask you something. So, what do you think? And be completely honest. What do you think about the Sora Ditto?
I don't mind it that much,
Mm-hmm.
but I would say I will get tired of any Ditto if I fight it too much.
Yeah.
But I don't mind it that much. I think the only
Yeah.
reason I don't mind it that much is because I'm seeing Sora on my screen. But it
Right.
can be a little bit of a lengthy Ditto. It's not as
Right.
bad as Steve Dittos.
Oh
Steve
my
Dittos are
gosh.
Steve Dittos are
Dude,
just humorless.
that's disgusting. I get like physically repulsed when I see that. It's just mining in the corner and then it's like you're super aggressive and then it's just the same thing over and over. Um but I think dittos in general in this game are pretty janky. Like I think it's kind of tricky. I usually find myself being very patient with Sora when I do dittos. Um I also think it's extremely funny if you look at all the skins. We got 4 Kingdom Hearts 2 skins in this game, which I really like because we have regular Kingdom Hearts 2, we have Valor form, we have Timeless River form, and I know they did like the Wisdom Dream Drop Distance style, but it's still 4 out of 8, which I think is really funny.
Yeah, KH2. People love KH2.
And you can tell
That
so,
wisdom that wisdom form skin is an original Smash skin in my head because I'm like
right.
that's so weird. That's the dream drop costume.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of surprised they did it. Like I think it looks really good, but yeah, cuz usually what Smash does is that they kind of do their own sometimes they'll do their like own special thing. Like if you look at Sephiroth, the way he holds his sword like kind of backwards like that, I don't think he does that anywhere else other than Smash. So I thought it was kind of cool they did this costume with Sora.
Yeah, I have to check. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah, double check, or if anyone in chat knows, like double check me, but I remember seeing like a discussion kind of about that thing. The only the only thing is I do not want another Smash game because I'm kind of afraid Sora won't be in the next one. Do you think this is like a once in a lifetime thing with Sora, or do you think if they made a new Smash that they would bring Kingdom Hearts because he was the most requested?
Maybe. I don't know. Hard to say.
Uh,
I'm not too worried about it because in my head, whatever if Sora's not in the next Smash game, then it just looks like I'm playing Ultimate. That's
Yeah,
all it is.
that's the same thing I'm thinking exactly. Like it's
A
the
little
same
play Ultimate.
it's the same thing with like Melee. Like people just like will play Melee forever and if they make a new game and Sora's not in it, like I'll just play Ultimate forever. Like that's good. Ultimate's going to be in that category forever. Like I know Smash 4 isn't around anymore cuz we have Ultimate and it's really the definitive edition. But yeah, I if that happens, I totally agree with you. Like that's why I don't really even want to think of another Smash right now. But
I think Sora doesn't have a bad chance of being in a future Smash game, though. I
right,
think Disney and Square are a lot more open to these sorts of collaborations nowadays. And even
yeah.
actually, Disney even straight up said so after Sora came to Smash.
What exactly? Do you remember exactly what they said? Because I remember hearing about that too.
Yeah, I don't remember not exactly word for word. But they basically were talking about how they're more open to these like sorts of collaborations
Mm-hmm.
like in the future. They want to do a lot more of these sorts of crossovers in the
Mm.
future.
Wow. Do you think? Because I know you'd be an expert on. You are the expert on this. What do you think? Do you think this affected Disney's like mindset in any way? I know you already said like they're more open to collaborations, but do you think Square Enix and Disney were like, oh my gosh, like we didn't. Do you think they knew Sora was this popular for Smash?
Disney claimed they weren't surprised.
Really?
Yeah, Disney. I mean, Disney's pretty. They know how popular Sora is. They know how the Cage fandom is.
Mm,
Um, but they were just happy to see him in.
right.
But Disney and Square, I don't know. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know exactly. Like they were probably surprised a little bit. I think I remember hearing like Nomura say that they knew it was going to be big, but maybe not like this big or something.
Right. Yeah, I saw there's a it looks so good, but in Japan they have this like Smash Bros edition box with like the game and then I think some of the DLC characters and there's one in particular that's just a big box with the game and it's like Sora's face on it. And I would literally kill to own that box. Like I would love to go there and like literally just get it if I, was like a fucking millionaire or something like that. But
That sounds perfect.
like it looks I'll see if I can send you the picture, but it looks so clean. I just don't yeah, I don't know if they knew like Nintendo definitely knew because I don't know if you knew this, but like the old president of Nintendo, Satoru Iwata, he passed away. I think it was like
Yeah.
6 years ago or so, and Sakurai won an award before the second batch of DLC. And when he got this award, he was like, "I'm sorry if this seems out of place, but I want to take a moment to reflect Satoru Iwata." And he was saying that this game is a tribute to him. So back when they did the Smash Ballot, he revealed that him and Iwata knew Sora was the most requested character. And I don't know, man, this game, I just don't know if they could ever make another game like this. It's definitely the best Smash game in my opinion. It's the ultimate crossover and it's so balanced and it just has such a diverse roster for like a console like the Switch. It's just Nintendo's thriving right now and I just want them to keep it up. I don't know what they have in the future for Smash because at the end of the day, like it sells consoles, which is a huge thing. Like also the game sells well, but um, I don't know, man. I'm still really happy Sora's in Smash, and I think the meta for him is going to evolve as well because I'm seeing like DeBuzz picked up Sora, and I think he played him for I think he was playing him in Summit or some big major tournament recently. And he was playing him like I don't want to say campy, but he was just very patient with how he worked him. So I'm gonna just sit back, I'm gonna relax, and I just want to see like how the pros are playing him too.
Yeah.
But cool. Do you have anything else to add? Because like of course say whatever's on your mind, and then I think we'll just get some questions from chat if they're interested as well.
All right. I don't really have much else to say other than I'm pretty much going to try my best to see when I could take Sora in any competitive capacity. I'm still interested in going down that route with him. So whenever I
Mm.
get the chance, hopefully everyone can root for me or Treehouse on any streams or anything that we're maybe on the future events. We're going to be grinding with Sora for sure.
Yeah, like
Going to be
dude,
going to be a long grind, a lot of research.
yeah, dude. I don't know if you I was at GameStop earlier today and I was looking at the consoles and there was like a Nintendo Switch kind of in I think it was like a used Nintendo Switch on the bottom and I was like I might ask them and see if that's a V1 Switch cuz dude, I want some of these like for the training mod. I really want that. Like if I want to get really good at Smash, I might have to get a modded Switch for that
Yeah.
opportunity. But people didn't think because I've been playing Nest since Wii U, and Smash 3DS, and man, like people didn't think I was gonna drop him. Like I'm really dedicated to trying to be the best. So I'm gonna keep doing Coinbox. I want to do these other tournaments. I kind of have to. I think if you get into competitive Smash, you have to really practice competing, like especially for like you have to practice. I think you have to practice streaming your tournaments as well, because if you go to offline events, like you're gonna have kind of that same pressure. So but yeah, man, we're me and Prodigy, we're gonna keep grinding Sora and see what happens. Do you guys in chat have any questions at all? Rooting for both of you. Sora's my favorite video game character. Sora for life. Sora for life, J-Ray. Let's go.
He's the best.
He's the best. I'm still shocked they got Timeless River in. I thought that was such a... I just lost my shit.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I love that.
Right. I was just like, what the hell? It's been a great podcast, fellas. Thanks for the chat. Yo, anytime, Landy, thank you so much for coming through. You've been such a support of the channel. Guys, please check Landy out. I didn't think my questions so far. Thank you, Tree. What are you guys' favorite alts? Yo, what's yours?
You guys want to hate my answer? I think I like all of them. Like I just like all of them too much.
Yeah.
Okay, if I had to give one answer, I do think I like my Dream Drop ults a lot. So I like the Dream Drop skin, the Wisdom Form skin quite a bit. That's what I've been feeling lately.
Yeah. There's something special to me about the Dream Drop ult because we have the Dream Drop distance voice. So I kind of feel like that's like, I know it's all based on Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora, but I hear the voice and I'm just like, oh gosh, Dream Drop, like maybe it's really based on that.
Yeah, that might be why I subconsciously picked the Dream Drop skin a lot, but I also think it's because Dream Drop Sora just looks insanely good in Smash and has the best looking Dream Drop distance Sora I've ever seen. So
definitely
that might be another reason.
Man, I don't know my favorite. Something about it's tricky because like playing Kingdom Hearts from a young age, like I love the idea of like Sora growing up because I've kind of like grown up with him. So, but I don't know, KH1 has a very special place in my heart. Like it's just very magical to me. And I think him getting in Smash is also just a very magical moment. Like I love all of them, but I find myself playing better as KH1 Sora than like some of the alts sometimes. I don't know if that's a brain thing or a me thing, but that's definitely, I think I like to go KH1 Sora. So if that's it, I think cool. I think we're gonna end it here, and I think we're gonna do a raid as well. So seriously, Prodigy, thank you so much for making the time to come on. This was like I've been wanting to have this chat with someone for a very long time, and I was like, oh my gosh, like Prodigy's perfect because you play like a lot of fighting games in general and stuff like that too. So seriously, dude, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And guys, please remember to check out Prodigy on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Yeah, dude, anytime. Like
I appreciate you for having me on, and I appreciate everything you've been doing over here on Twitch for the Sora and Smash community. It's really nice, and I hope you guys have had fun hearing me. I know some of you may not have heard me before, but thank you for welcoming me on this podcast, and I hope to be on again in the future, whether it's a podcast or whether it's just playing Treehouse and Smash against Treehouse and Smash or anything. So appreciate you guys,
dude. Yeah, thank you so much, and I think it's like that. Like, thanks, man. That really means a lot. And I think it's really special to also have, like, I've met, like, I talk about this jokingly, kind of, but I'm just like, yo, the Kingdom Hearts community is just, like way more welcoming than the Smash community. And I tell that to my Smash friends, and they all start cracking the fuck up. But, which is really funny. But, yeah, I think it's been, like, such a magical thing to, like, play Smash so, like have it be so dedicated to it, but then also get a dream character, and then people who love that franchise also come in, and like it's really cool to see these communities like coming together as well. So I don't know, I think that's the power of Smash too. Like Smash just gets people into other games. It also has communities meet and stuff like that. So seriously, thank you so much again, man, for coming in. And I think we're gonna raid Lands of Masters because he's playing some Kingdom Hearts, and I think he's doing a pretty big fundraiser event. So we're gonna raid him, guys. Remember to put big Pikas in the chat and give us. We gotta get some Soras, maybe some Donalds in here as well. So everyone, thank you so much for coming in for the first ever TreeCast, number 9, baby. It has been the first one live streamed, so we're gonna do this again in the future. I think it went really well. So again, thank you guys for coming in, and I will be live tomorrow around 12:30 in the afternoon. Have an amazing rest of your day, guys. Peace.
Take care, guys.
Cool.